Dhari. Shishi Radha Vinod Vihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nitya Lila Papishtam Vishnupar. Ashtatara Shatashmar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Guru Dev ki jai. Nitya Lila Papishtam Vishnupar. Ashtatara Shatashmar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Lila Papishtam Vishnupar. Ashtatara Shatashmar Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashatarashatashmar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashatarashatashmar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashatarashatashmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Sorry, I'm a bit tired right now. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashatarashatashmar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashatarashatashmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashatarashatashmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Goraksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadasa Gunath. Shri Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad ki jai. नाम आचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय. सर्व अभीष्ट प्रदाता गिरिराज महाराज की जय. श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंद की जय. श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय. श्री तुलसी महारानी बिंद देवी की जय. श्री भक्ति देवी की जय. श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय. श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. श्री राधा गोविंद झूलन यात्रा महामहोत्सव की जय. श्री एकादशी तिथि की जय. पवित्र आरोपण एकादशी तिथि की जय. तिथि पालन करी भक्त वृंद की जय. चातुर्मास्य व्रत की जय. व्रत पालन करी भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. हरि हरि
हरि बोल.
हरि हरि बोल. All right, so we're taking a little break from our Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. I'm not sure, maybe we should, well, we can figure out if we want to read Chaitanya Bhagavat. I think it'd be nice to read about Rupa Goswami for a few days, follow Gurudev's program, and then read about Baladev Prabhu, and then I travel to Navadvip. Anyhow, so I don't know how long it will be till we continue Chaitanya Bhagavat, but maybe a few days. I guess first we can sing a kirtan. You know, there's a beautiful kirtan written by Srila Rupa Goswami. And inside Stavamala, there's a section at the end called Gitavali. And that's where all those kirtans are. Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Daite, Krishna Deva Vantam Vande. There's a bunch of kirtans. I don't know how many, maybe like 30 or something like that. And one of the first ones is a beautiful song for the about the Jhulan Leela. And it tells what raga the song should be sung in. And my cousin Manjari Didi, she asked Muni Maharaj if he can what that raga is, and he sent a recording to her, and it is such a beautiful melody. But the thing is, I've just been so maxed out, and I haven't really had a time to listen to it and learn it nicely. I just heard it one time, and then it's like, wow, that's such a beautiful melody. But so maybe next year, I guess. But maybe for the kirtan session, like for our kirtan program now, we can just sing Radhe Julana Padaro Juki Aye Padara. That's the traditional Bhasha Kirtan that is sung every day throughout these 5 days of Julan Yatra. But I would really love to maybe next year I can make like a nice video for it, to make a nice translation and make a whole presentation. And then that would be nice if that became like a thing that we started doing. Also because it's like right around Rupa Goswami's Tirubhav Julan Yatra. It's like, it's so perfect. Yeah, that'd be really nice. That'd be cool if Manjari made like a proper recording of it. Like a, what do you call it? A single. Anyhow, let's find this. I just sent it out on the Gaudiya Kirtan mailing list. Radhe Julana Padharo Juki Aya Padhara. It'll be in my email. Let me just find it. Where is it? There it is, the Swing Festival song. There. Oh, my throat's not so good right now. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. Isn't this a pretty picture? It's Nilambari illustrated it. I like how she really got the monsoon happening. Okay. So a traditional Braj Bhasha song sung daily while swinging the deities during the 5 days of Julan Yatra, from Pavitra Ropana Karashi till Baladev. Oops, that was a mistake. It's Pavitra Aropan. Whatever. During Vrindavan's monsoon season. And yeah, there's recordings of Krishnadas Prabhu singing it and Janaki Mataji singing it. Okay, let's see. Oh Radha, go and sit on the swing. Low rain clouds have come and filled the sky. Give up your sulky mood, oh friends. Don't be stubborn like this. You are the dear, highly intelligent daughter of King Vrishabhanu. Decorate yourself with 16 kinds of ornaments and line your eyes with kajal. Don your 5-colored sari and cover yourself with a thin and dark veil. Your playful beloved is waiting for you on the path. O Radha, wherever you place your feet, Sham's eyes follow. Silken ropes are hung upon which fair Radha is swinging. Her golden arms are decorated with floral bracelets. Okay, 1 second. I'm just going to get my mridanga. I put this in dark mode. One second. Oops. What did I do? Sorry, guys. Wait, I just see a comment from Kishore. What is the name of the song by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada? I don't actually remember what the name of the song is. It's one of the first songs, though. It's probably like song number 2 or something like that, from that section I was telling you about. I'll have to look it up. Oh, let me just check on Restream. Everything's running okay. Uh-oh. I set it up kind of late. It's okay. It's good. It's working. Oh, wow. 6 people there. Ānanda-vṛndāvana pranams, everybody. Whoever's there. Oh, who is that? Kujumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji. What are Hari Chandan trees? Chandan. It's like Hari Chandan, is light colored sandalwood trees. Hare Krishna Ganga Mataji. Yeah, the Muni Maharaj never recorded it or anything like that. He had to figure out the melody. He composed the melody kind of, and then he composed how to sing it, and then yeah. Okay. Radhe Jhulana Padharo Joka Ai Badara Radhe Jhulana Padharo Joke Ai Badara Juk आए बदरा गिर आए बदरा झुके आए बदरा गिर आए बदरा राधे चोलाना पधारो झुक आए बदरा श्यामा चोलाना पधारो झुक झुके आए बदरा ऐसो मान नाही कीजे हट छोरो रियाली ऐसो मान नाही कीजे हट छोरो रियाली तुम तो परमसयानी वृषभानु की लाली तुम तो परमसयानी वृषभानु की लाली ओ राधे झूलना पधारो चुक आए बतरा श्यामा चुलाना पधारो चुक आए पधारो साजो सोला श्रृंगार दारो नैनन कजरा साजो सोला श्रृंगार धारो नैनन कजरा पहरो पंचरंग साड़ी ओढ़ो श्याम चतरा पहरो पंचरंग साड़ी ओरो श्याम चदरा तेरो रसिका प्रीतम मग जो हत खड़ो तेरो रसिका प्रीतम मग जो हत खड़ो राधे जहाँ पगधारो श्याम नयन धरो राधे जहाँ पगधारो श्याम नयन धरो ओ राधे झूलना पधारो चुक आए पधरा ओ श्यामा झूलना पधारो चुक आए पधरा दारो साई दारे रेशम डोरी जापे झूले राधा गोरी दारी रेशम डोरी जापे झूले राधा गोरी जाकी भैया गोरी गोरी गहरे हाथन गजरा जाकी भैया गोरी गोरी पहरे हाथन गजरा राधे झूलना पधारो चुके आए बदरा श्याम झूलना पधारो चुक आए बदरा चुक आए बदरा गिर आए बदरा चुक आए पदरा गिर आए पदरा राधे चोदना पदारो चुक आए पदरा ओ श्यामा चोदना पधारो चुक आए पदरा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल Hare Krishna. So now I guess I'll do a little Mangala Charan, yeah, and then we can read from Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū by Srila Kavi Karṇapura Goswami. Yeah. I just noticed I had noise suppression on, so you probably didn't hear the mridanga, did you? I just turned it on at the end. Anyways, doesn't matter. Oh, Pradyumna was dancing. That's great. All right, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, if the internet gets choppy at all, I just didn't feel like leaving the office, and so I'm using my mobile data. But if it gets choppy, then let me know, and I can easily go downstairs into the temple room and use the Wi-Fi. There's just like a lot of people here now, and I just didn't feel comfortable and all that, and I was lazy. So, but yeah. All right, let's do Mangala Charan. Oh wait, I have to share my screen. What am I doing? I'm a bit slow right now because yesterday is my last day of dealing with the books. And I did that all kind of late last night. Well, not super late, but there's a lot of work, and so I'm kind of exhausted and tired. I went to sleep late. Okay. Ajnanatirmirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha gurave gaurachandraya radhikaya tadalaya krishnaya krishna bhaktaya tad bhaktaya namo namaha Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ajanulambita bhujo kanakavatato sankirtanaikapitaro kamalaya Vishwambharo Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro. I'm going to skip these verses now. Tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya devi tvang nayamang charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai Kshiptashtakama ditaranga madhye Kripa maitvam sharanam prapanna Vrinde namaste charanaravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kishore Prabhu, before we start, do you have anything you'd like to share? Anything on your mind? Anything about Jhulan Yatra or anything?
Jai Radhe.
Jai Radhe. Okay. So, let's see. I'm not sure how authentic this is, by the way. I think I have this is published by Mahanidhi Swami. It's the only English version of Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū that I know of. And I heard from somebody that he really took a lot of poetic license in this version of Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū. So yeah, just wanted to give that disclaimer before we start. It's so beautiful, but yeah, I have the Bengali here, but I didn't get a chance to look through it. Really, I just found it. Anyways, if we come across anything that seems not right, we can check in here. I mean, Kavi Karṇapura was very poetic. Reshami Vastrakhanda. I mean, this is very poetic. But anyhow, we'll see. Chapter 22. This is the very last chapter of Srila Kavi Karṇapura's Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū. The Swing Festival Pastimes. The stealing of Krishna's flute occurred in the middle of the springtime holy festival. On another day, Krishna performs the swing festival, the Jhulan Yatra, which is the perfect object of meditation for those desiring a taste of devotion. On that day, the sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna far surpassed the sporting of the demigods and their wives in the celestial gardens. This chapter describes Krishna's ecstatic swing festival, which is incomprehensible to the three worlds. The swing festival was held in a special place in Vrindavan, which was bordered by a line of desire trees of equal height, with round trunks and branches whose ends intertwined, leaving a bare space in the middle. Satyamataji was just asking if I have, yeah, of course we're going to have a swing festival here, and yeah, I can take pictures, definitely. Okay, wait a second, I just want to look here. I'm just curious. Yeah, so this, so far, it's very, like, this seems like a very accurate translation. So, the line of trees appeared like a wall of sapphire jewels. Besides the birds inhabiting those trees, the presiding deities of the forest had placed various items in the trees, including chamars, silk cloth, long strands of pearls, jewels, fruits, and flowers. A square-shaped golden stage, A square-shaped golden stage stood in the center of the decorated trees. In the middle of the stage was a jeweled kunja with 4 doors. 4 harichandan trees. Oh, that's what Pradyumna was asking about. That's sandalwood trees, right? Like a light colored sandalwood tree, I think. 4 harichandan trees stood as pillars in the corners of the kunj. The intertwining of the tree's upper branches formed an overhead canopy. The swing hung on thin golden ropes tied to branches of the harichandan trees. This arena appeared in the center. Each gopi group leader had a personal kunj with a swing in the 4 directions radiating from this central arena. The other arenas, lined with pleasant devataru trees, radiated green all around and resonated with the singing of young cooing birds. They served as the embodiments of festivity for the entire earth. 1 swing hung from each pair of trees, and sitting platforms for the gopis encircled the bases of these trees. Golden chains tied securely to the branches of the trees hung down in straight lines. In the center arena, 4 lines of swings belonging to different group leaders faced the 4 doors of the main kunja. Herds of deer frolicked about joyfully in the flat, open land surrounding the kunjas. The hearts of everyone immediately flooded with joy just by seeing these areas, which were illuminated by chintamani gems and by trees as brilliant as coral. The top branches of the trees joins to form natural, pleasing green canopies. Gazing upward forever, one could not find the tops of those tall trees. Wait, so I just want to get understanding what is it that the tree. Sorry, so there are. So my brain is not like so sharp right now, but so there's a kunja. There's a big arena in the center, and there's doors to different kunjas, but it's all in one area. And then are there swings like facing each other? There's four different swings for each one of the group leaders, right? And I'm wondering if they're like side by side or if they're all facing each other, like if they're like in a circle kind of. In the center arena, 4 lines of swings belonging to different group leaders faced the 4 doors of the main kunja. I have a feeling that the doors are on different sides, not just like, a row of doors, but they're facing each door. So I think that's what it seems like to me, that they're all like the swings are all kind of facing each other. Okay, sorry. So in those areas, Okay. So gazing upward forever, one could not find the tops of those tall trees. The moonlight filtering through the canopies of the trees made small filaments of light on the forest floor that looked like piles of sesame and rice. Thinking it food, the female deer tried to lick it. The 4 kunja mandapas, the raised platforms, were so similar that even the devatas could not. They were so similar that the devatas could distinguish them only by their placement in different directions. In those areas, the Vanadevis, the presiding deities of the forest, the forest goddesses, they had stretched a canopy in preparation for the swing festival. A Vanadevi. Would Vrindadevi be considered a Vanadevi? I don't know. In those areas, the Vanadevis had stretched a canopy in preparation for the swing festival. The scattered moonlight appeared like pearl belts taken from the deities of the directions, broken by the steady winds, and broadcast on the earth out of respect for the land of Vrindavan. It appeared as if all the stars in the sky, in great bliss, left their positions to come offer respects to the land of Vrindavan. Pieces of rustling silk cloth from the goddess of the sky forms the rooftops of the kunjas and hung down quivering like tongues trying to lick the dust of Vrindavan. Oh my god. The nets of pearls hanging from the cloth that were swinging gently in the soft breeze and pleasantly resounding like tinkling ankle bells. Wow, the nets of pearls hanging from that cloth were swinging gently in the soft breeze and pleasantly resounding like tinkling ankle bells. The forest gods had decorated the canopies with strings of various kinds of fruit, and with fine scented chamars resembling white lotuses from the sky. I don't know what this word is supposed to be, anyways. Or it resembled swans flying up from the lake of moonlight. The swing arena carried the celestial scent of aromatic aguru fumes, drops of perfume squeezed from the kalpadru trees, and piles of camphor dust, which made lines of white smoke in the sky. Impatient and anxious to begin the swing festival, the devatas and their wives, the siddhas, the vidyadharas, the charanas, and the kinnaras played their instruments as they arrived in Vrindavan in their innumerable celestial airplanes. In a jubilant mood, the gentle goddesses from different forests, carrying various festival ingredients in their hands, assembled in Vrindavan. With friendship, kindness, and all good qualities, they finished decorating the swing arena and built an impressive entrance with the best garlands. From all directions, flocks of joyful birds came fluttering to broadcast the sweetness of the swing festival. They perched peacefully on the twigs and branches of the trees around the arena. Eager to see the wonderful swing festival, the birds sang the glories of Krishna while their own hearts sung in delight. Forgetting all troubles and impelled by curiosity, varieties of deer gathered in the kunjas. They stood as motionless as figures in a painting, appearing as if they had not been attracted to the forest by the sound of Krishna's flute, had not abandoned their household duties, and not opposed their elders. The doe-eyed gopis, like touchstones for pleasurable pastimes, suddenly manifested out of nowhere, as if coming directly from the desire trees. Colored with kumkum, their loins glistened ready for dancing. They wore fluffy petticoats covered by fine silk dresses extending to their ankles. Glittering bodices beautified their breasts. Their effulgent bodies were adorned with festive colored sashes and tinkling waist belts. The soft rounded shoulders of the gopis rivaled the flower bow of Cupid. The gopis had tucked flower arrows in their girdles and held flower bombs in their hands. Flower arrows and flower bombs. In the arena of the artful, amusing swing pastimes, the blissful gopis appeared like the incarnation of Rati, the goddess overseeing festive love battles. Some gopis had flower pollen sachets hidden in their golden waist belts. Those bags of pollen seemed like the accumulated wealth of their skill in lovemaking, collected over a long period of time for purchasing the jewel of Krishna's mind. Some gopis held thousands of flasks filled with fragrant aguru, musk, camphor, and sandalwood ointments. These thin, delicate flasks would break open with a breath. Others carried ingeniously designed syringes filled with flower essences, kumkum water, sandal water, and musk water. The gopis looked like well-armed soldiers ready for the battle of love. anxiously awaiting the arrival of Radhika Sham to start the festival. Each of the gopis, the jewels among of women who are more beautiful than the soldiers of Cupid, each of these gopis thought that she would swing first. The gopis entered the four areas around the main arena while discussing this amongst themselves. Out of excitement, they made a din with their loud laughing that resembled the sweet cooing of the cuckoos. Krishna entered the swing arena with his left arm resting on Radha's shoulder, holding his flute. In his right hand, Krishna twirled a lotus flower, while his bangles chimed happily. A pleasing peacock feather topped his reddish turban that tilted attractively to one side. Krishna's elegant earrings and ear lotuses swung in the breeze created by the bees encircling his head. Whoa. Fine cloth kissed his limbs, lit by the jewels of his crown and bracelets. Krishna shone attractively with his pearl necklaces tinged red from the rays of his Kaustuba jewel. Light, delicate footsteps accented his graceful yet playful gait. Jeweled anklets and bells adorned his lotus feet. Krishna, his splendid lips shining, appeared somewhat drowsy from chewing betel nut. Yet his effulgence easily defeated the combined radiance of all the jewels adorning the ladies in heaven. Krishna's effulgence took the shape of a jeweled mace to announce his entrance to the bower of jeweled trees. As Krishna and his servants ascended the dais surrounding the swing, the birds screeched, "Victory! Victory!" Okay. The trees and creepers felt such rapture that their limbs erupted with tiny bumps and honey streamed down like a torrent of tears. When the peacocks stared at Radha and Krishna, they thought they were seeing dark rain clouds flashing lightning. Though knowing Radha and Krishna from before, due to their unprecedented love, the peacocks madly cried out, "Keo, Keo! Who are these two persons?" Different celestial denizens joined Krishna and the gopis to celebrate their Julan Leela. In attendance, there were charming charanas, male and female kimpurushas, and the wives of the siddhas beating expertly on madal and panava drums with their delicate hands. The spotless heavenly damsels from Swarga and the Apsaras directed by Urvasi held chamars as radiant as waves in the Mandakini river. They showered fragrant flowers from the Nandakanan gardens, which glittered like stars as they fell for the sky. In this atmosphere, Krishna mounted the attractive, comfortable sweet seat of the swing. Krishna now mounts the attractive, comfortable, sweet seat of the swing. Krishna looked like a regal crest jewel sitting on the cotton seat. The cloth covering the seat was whiter than the foam that appeared during the churning of the milk ocean. Shining pillows also adorned the beautiful seat. Seeing that amazingly wonderful swing purified the vision and empowered the eyes to see other objects in a fresher way. While the devatas played sweet music, Mukunda and Radha marveled at the intricate workmanship of the jeweled lamps illuminating the swing. Trembling out of ecstatic love, Radhika and her friends sat beside Krishna, who rested his left arm on Radhika's shoulder. When the Lord ascended the exquisite swing and displayed his sweet beauty, which defeated the fickle currents of a river of nectarian beauty, the devatas and their wives lost all composure. As the ardent desire of the devatas' hearts to get a closer view of the divine couple moved out of their hearts to express itself, it choked in their throats. With that hope, they left the middle sky and descended to the more favorable lower borders of the sky. When lotus-eyed Chandravali and other gopi group leaders beheld the especially intimate feature of Krishna sitting upon the swing, their eyes sparkled with blissful love. The gopis, adorned with colorful makeup and tinkling belts, mounted their respective swings and they loudly sang sweet songs in the appropriate tempo. Chandravali and her group sat facing Murari, Bhadra, and her other associates sat on his right. Shama and her followers on the left, and Dhanya and her assistants sat behind Murari. Okay, so the swings are not in a row. The swings are in different parts. So I guess the swings are kind of facing each other. All right, let's just see. So, I wonder, did we already read, was the swing that Radha and Krishna were on, or is that in the middle? Probably. I don't know. And then Chandravali. Okay, anyways, whatever. Crowding the 4 outer yards, other joy-filled gopis sang melodious songs with the finest artistic skill. Their effulgent complexions conquered a garden of golden creepers. As they softly vibrated their 7-stringed veenas, the gopis produced the pleasing ambrosial music of unequaled excellence. Holding on with one hand and swinging their bodies, the gopis moved gaily on the swings as swarms of bees followed them. With their free hands, the gopis took fistfuls of powder from the bags tucked in their belts and forcefully threw it into the air while their bangles jingled along. Scattered here and there by the wind, the colored powders spread a red hue through the sky, like a screen of fresh java flowers. The devatas, anguished by this obstruction to sing Krishna's pastimes, repeatedly showered flowers to remove the recurring screen of dust. It appeared the clouds dripped in flower nectar. As the manjaris gracefully pushed the swings, Vrinda and others shouted, "Jai ho, Jai ho!" While blissfully absorbed in swinging, Radha and Krishna hurled colored powders on the gopis. When Chandravali and other Sakis returned the volley with their powders, Radha and Krishna revealed a unique state of fresh beauty. Okay, so while they're swinging, they're all bombing each other with powders, with different colored powders on the swing. Chandravali, Radha and Krishna. As the powders thrown at Krishna blew away in the wind, the gopis filled their reddened hands with sandalwood powder and other fragrances to bomb Krishna again. Radha's friends, who were experts in shooting pitchkaris. What's a pitchkari? Is it a syringe? I don't know. Anyways, so Radha's friends, who were experts in shooting pitchkaris full of sweet-smelling colored water, assembled around the swing of Radha and Krishna. Let's just say it's their super soakers. Suddenly, Chandravali and her Sakis attacked Radha and Krishna with pitchkaris full of color. With their jeweled pitchkaris loaded with scents and glittering like the moon, Radhika's Sakis counterattacked Chandravali and her group with a fountain spray of color. Aimed mainly at Chandravali, that spray of liquid scent did not even once touch the bodies of Radha and Krishna. Gathering their forces, Radha's Sakis, who were eager to win the battle, shouted, "I am winning! I am winning!" In the pandemonium. What's a pandemonium? Hey. There. Pandemonium is a state of great noise and confusion. Okay. Wild and noisy disorder or confusion, an uproar. Okay, so in the pandemonium, a few more gopis picked up pitchkaris and wildly squirted other gopis. In the excitement to win, some bottles of liquid fell and broke, releasing thick streams of aguru and sandalwood-scented liquid over the grounds. When the flower bombs, being forcefully thrown from all directions, came too close to the son of the king of Vrindavan, the gopis deflected them. If, however, any bomb happened to hit the dark blue body of Krishna, Radhika happily wiped it off with her soft hands moistened from perspiration. Feeling disturbed, Krishna lost his composure upon seeing the condition of the gopis. He was afflicted with pride and apprehension. To increase the pleasure of the doe-eyed gopis, who gazed at him with shy, downcast eyes like chakoris agitated by the moon, Krishna abandoned all rules of formal conduct and followed the whims of Cupid. Witty, humorous, and controlled by his consorts, the brother of Balaram, rolling his eyes in desire, challenged the group of gopis facing him on all sides, eager to play holy with him. Yeah, so all the swings are surrounding Krishna. And I guess Krishna is in the middle. Skillful at sport, Hari smashed the gopis in the southern direction with a deluge of colors. While moving on their swings and firing red powder at Krishna, the beautiful gopis appeared as victory flags of cleverness. Then Krishna subdued the playful, blissful girls on the northern side. Next, he defeated the gopis and their associates in the western direction, who kept swinging the whole time while strongly desiring pastimes of enjoyment. Their eyes and bodies defeated the beauty of lakes full of lotus flowers. Then he conquered the elegant, excited women on the eastern side, who were particularly attractive, being seated on swings directly opposite him. While swinging and throwing ruby red powder with his lotus hands, Krishna shared a seat with Radhika, who possesses the limit of all excellent qualities. Isn't that wild, though? They're all just like on different areas, like different corners, swinging at each other, and then throwing, when they get close to each other, throwing powder, and yeah. Must be really long cords to be able to, yeah. Sounds kind of dangerous, actually. How do they not hit each other? Then he conquered the elegant, excited women on the eastern side, who are particularly... Sorry, I think I skipped something. Oh, no, yeah, okay. So, after winning the Battle of Holi, Krishna, smiling brilliantly, desired to please the different groups of swinging gopis. Starting in the eastern direction, he faced each group and dexterously moved his swing in 2 different directions. So swings weren't just going back and forth, he would move it in other directions, maybe side to side, or it was like going all over the place. When Krishna swung east or west, he moved the swing directly towards the gopis in those directions. When he swung to the north or south, those gopis sat next to him. In the joy of such counter-swinging, Krishna's necklaces, forest garlands, and shining earrings all joined in the festival. Shri Krishna enacts 2 types of eternal pastime. Okay, so I think this is the end of that, of the description. Now, Srila Kavi Karṇapura is going to go into some tattva. Wow. Isn't that amazing, though? Shri Krishna enacts 2 types... Let me just see the comments. Oh, Hare Krishna, Shubhanand Prabhu. Shri Krishna enacts 2 types of eternal pastimes. There's the manifest and unmanifest. The prakat and aprakat. With a description of Radha and Krishna's swing festival, I, Kavi Karṇapura, the crest jewel of Rasikas, conclude the book entitled Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū, which parallels the Vrindavan pastimes of the Lord described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I have not described the Bhagavatam chapters about the gopis' songs and separation, the killing of Arishta and Keshi, the coming of Akrura, and entering the arena of Kamsa, because I consider them unsuitable for the sweet mood of Madhurya Vrindavan. He wants all the pastimes of meeting Krishna, not the separation pastimes. The confidential pastimes of Krishna, the embodiment of transcendental wonder, are eternal by nature and constantly present in their manifest and unmanifest forms. What is the proof that Krishna's transcendental abode of Vrindavan exists eternally, though invisible to the material eye? In answer to this query, the Srimad Bhagavatam states, Jayati janani vaso devaki janmavado yaduvara parishatsvar dorbirasyan adharmam sthirachara vrijinagna susmita shri mukhena vrajapura vanitanam vardayan kamadevam. Lord Shri Krishna is he who is known as Jananivasa, the ultimate resort of all living entities, and who is also known as Devaki Nandan, or Yashoda Nandan. He is known as the son of Devaki and Yashoda. He is the guide of the Yadu dynasty, and with his mighty arms he kills everything inauspicious, as well as every man who is impious. By his presence, he destroys all things inauspicious for the living entities, moving and inert. His blissful smiling face always increases the lusty desires of the gopis of Vrindavan. May he be all glorious and happy. That's Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 10, canto 10, last chapter. Is it the last verse? I think it's the last verse of the 10th canto, or second to the last verse. I can't remember. The eternal nature of Krishna's pastimes is established by using the present tense in the Bhagavatam verse quoted above. It should be understood that the eternality of Krishna's pastimes is preserved by his inconceivable energy, his achintya shakti. This spiritual energy produces both manifest and unmanifest abodes. One cannot say that Krishna, who possesses inconceivable energy, does not have the power to maintain eternal places of manifest and unmanifest pastimes. Nor can it be said that his young lovers, the lotus-eyed gopis of Vrindavan, cannot be divided into different groups, such as Nitya Siddha gopis and Sadhan Siddha gopis, like the Shruticharis and Municharis. Nor can Vrindavan, the place of his transcendental pastimes, exist in an unmanifest state. Why can't the pastimes of Hari and Vrindavan be both manifest and unmanifest eternally? O person fond of arguing, give an answer to this one question. Do the manifest and unmanifest pastimes exist eternally and simultaneously? There are millions of universes, and as a particular pastime ends in one universe, it simultaneously manifests in another. If they do not start in a particular universe, what is the question of disappearing? According to this method, the manifested pastimes remain eternally, always situated at some particular place. It is just like the sun, seemingly moving through days and nights, and appearing sequentially in all the 7 continents. Although a pastime seems to disappear in one universe, it actually continues to exist there in unlimited unmanifest forms. It reveals itself through different characteristics, as described in Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita. How could one Krishna simultaneously enter different temples to marry each of the 16,000 women along with the inhabitants of Dwarka, and also manifest himself in many forms along with the forms of his elders, such as Vasudeva? Just as Krishna, without any assistance from his expansions, manifested many forms of himself and his associates in Dwarka, could he not also manifest such things in Vrindavan? So is it not only is Krishna's pastimes manifesting in all the universes simultaneously, but like each pastime is happening simultaneously in all the in all the material universes, I'm saying. I think that's what I got from that. The Srimad Bhagavatam conclusively proves that Krishna is full of unlimited powers, Though he stays eternally in Vrindavan, unmanifest, he goes off to Mathura. In his unmanifest form, Krishna stays in Vrindavan and eternally performs pastimes with the gopis. Krishna also burned in separation from the gopis in his manifest form. It is said, therefore, that nothing is impossible or astonishing for the Supreme Person, Yashodanandan, who is full of unlimited powers and beyond all conceptions. If Krishna, as Devaki Nandan, showed such greatness in marrying all the princesses, could he not do much more as Yashodanandan, his most perfect and complete manifestation? All such things perfectly befit the unlimited nature of Krishna. Kavi Karṇapura, the son of Shivananda Sen, whose very life is Sri Chaitanya, has written this Campū with a wealth of poetic knowledge. It has arisen by the mercy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya and by the pure intelligence attained from remembrance of the lotus feet of Sri Nath. Shri Shri Gandharvika Giridhari ki jai. Shri Kavi Karṇapura Goswami ki jai. Shri Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū ki jai. Shri Jhulan Yatra ki jai. The holy festival ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan. Shri Vrishabhanunandini Shrimati Radha Thakurani ki jai. Shri Virendranandan Sham Sundar ki jai. Chandravali Bhadra Sham, what are all the different gopis and all the different groups ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Srila Param Gurudev ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Wasn't that an amazing description? I just think it's so fast. Like all the swings are just going all over the place, and Krishna's sometimes going this way and sometimes going that way, and it sounds really dangerous though. They're only holding on with one hand and going like far distances and then trying to bomb each other with yeah. All right. So wow, it's only 8 o'clock. So, I wonder if we have anything else to read. Let's see if there's anything on purebhakti.com. Alright, Vishuddha Chaitanya Vani. Alright, Kishore, do you know anything else to read for Jhulan Yatra?
I'm sorry, I don't pro.
No worries. That's
but
fine.
I think we need a more accurate festival now.
Like more, yeah, bigger swings. I mean, with longer ropes. What is it? Purebhakti.com.
I meant more like holy powder and syringes and everything. And flowers.
Yes. Totally.
Along with kirtan.
Let's see. Srila Gurudev's beautiful desires. Nope, doesn't look like there's anything for Jhulan here. Let's see on Vishuddha Chaitanya Vani. If not, then we can just end early today. Vishuddha Chaitanya Vani. Nope, nothing here either. So, okay, that's our program for today. Maybe let's sing the. I already did the Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu in the previous program during the japa session. But one thing we could sing now is Shri Hari Vasari Hari Kirtana Vidhan Nritta Arambila Prabhu Jagatera Pran Punyavanta Shivasa Angane Shubharamba Uttila Kirtana Dwani Gopala Govinda Mridanga Mandira Vaje Shankar Karatal Sankirtana Saba Hoilo Mishal Pramanda Vidila Dwani Puriya Akash. Where is it? Shri Hari Vasari Chodikera Amangala Jaya Sabanash Shri Hari Vasare Hari. Okay. I'll read the translation and then we can sing the song. And this is from Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Khanda Chapter 8. And they're just all assorted verses. I went inside and found all the verses in Chaitanya Bhagavat, so you can see like where they were all taken from. So it goes from, it's really mixed up. It's like verse 138, 139, then 188, 189, 140. It goes like this side, that side. It's all. But this is in my Param Gurudev's Bengali Gaudiya Giti Kucha. Other Gaudiya mats also have this song, Shri Hari Vasari Hari Kirtana Vidan, but it's like a quarter of the size. And in my Param Gurudev's one, there's many more verses. Alright, I'm just looking at the comments really quickly on Facebook and YouTube. Prajum number once, Prajajanamana Sukakari. I'm going to sing this now though. So, on Akadashi, after decreeing Hari Kirtan, Mahaprabhu, who is the life and soul of the universe, begins to dance in ecstasy. In the courtyard of the virtuous Shivas, the auspicious sounds of Kirtan, Gopala, Govinda, reverberates loudly. The sounds of the mridanga, mandira, the small cup-shaped cymbals, the conch, and karatal all blend nicely with the Sankirtan. The thunderous sound penetrates the universe, filling the whole sky. Everything inauspicious in all four directions is annihilated. At dawn, Vishwambar dances while the Kirtan groups formed sing charmingly. One group is with Srivas Pandit, and many others sing with Mukunda Datta. There are many more with Govinda Ghosh. As Gaurachandra dances, everyone performs Kirtan. The mighty Nityananda Prabhu holds onto Mahaprabhu and gently strokes him, while Advaita Acharya secretly takes his foot dust. Their eyes brimming with tears, Gadadhar and others become overwhelmed in transcendental happiness due to Mahaprabhu's Kirtan. When Vishwambar dances with great force, the earth trembles and everyone becomes afraid. It's like an earthquake. Sometimes Vishwambar dances so sweetly that he appears to be the son of Nanda, the best of dancers. Their eyes filled with joy, Mahaprabhu's servants observe his unprecedented love for Sri Krishna and his incomparably beautiful dancing. Mahaprabhu Vishwambar dances, rejoicing in his own transcendental happiness. The rhythmic sound of his lotus feet is extremely captivating. Under the weight of his ecstatic emotions, his garland is unable to remain around his neck. Breaking apart, it falls at the feet of the devotees. The auspiciousness of Sri Harinam Sankirtan spreads in all four directions as the son of Jagannath Mishra dances in the midst of the devotees. Absorbed in the bliss of Sri Hari's name, Shiva becomes oblivious to his own clothing. He whose glories impel Shiva to dance in ecstasy also dances himself. By his name, Valmiki achieved the wealth of austerity, and by his name, Ajamil received deliverance. By hearing his name, the bindings of the material world are destroyed. That Lord, having descended, dances in the age of Kali. His name is chanted by Shukadev and Narad as they wander about. His glories are sung by the Lord of the innumerable mouths, Sri Anantadev. His name constitutes the highest form of atonement. That Lord dances, while those who are supremely fortunate look on. Seeing Mahaprabhu's transcendental bliss, the associates of the Lord embrace each other and weep. Sandal paste and garlands grace everyone's bodies. They sing in great bliss, forgetting their own selves due to immersion in Krishna Ras. Entranced in Kirtan, all the Vaishnavas lose complete sense of their own bodies and of everyone around them. Delighted, everyone sings day and night, Jai Krishna Murari Mukunda Vanamali. Day and night, Vishwambar dances with the devotees, but they never become fatigued because their bodies are fully transcendental. In such a manner, Mahaprabhu Vishwambar dances the entire night, except for one prahar, during which he sleeps. In this way, transcendental happiness arises in the land of Navadvip, as the hero of Vaikuntha sports in Prem Ras. Gaurachandra and his associates remain in the hearts of those who hear this entire auspicious description. Vrindavan Das offers this song at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Chaitanya and the moon-like Nityananda Prabhu. So there's the full shruti for this. Gaurachandra and his associates remain in the hearts of those who hear this the entire auspicious description. Okay, so let's sing. Just getting a mridanga. And we'll just sing it all together. Shri Hari Vasare Hari Kirtana Vidhana Nirtayaram Bila Prabhu Jagatera Prana Punyavanta Shivasa Angane Shubharamba Utila Kirtana Dvani Gopala Govinda Mridanga Mandira Bhaje Shanka Karatala Sankirtana Shange Sabha Hoilo Mishala Brahmanda Bhedilo Dvani Puri Yaya Kasha Jyoti Keraya Mangala Jai Sabanasha Usha Kala Hoite Nrita Gore Vishwambar Juta Juta Hoilo Jata Gayana Sundar Shivasa Pandita Loya Eka Sampradaya Mukunda Loya Yar Janakoto Gaya Loya Govinda Gosha Arakoto Jana Gaurachandra Nritte Sabi Korena Kirtan Doriya Bule Nityananda Mahavali Alakhite Advaita Loen Padadhuli Gadadhar Adijata Sajala Nayane Anande Vivala Hoilo Prabhura Kirtane Jokhona Udanda Nache Prabhu Vishwambhara Prithvi Kampita Hoy Sabe Pai Dara Kokhono Bamadura Nachaye Vishwambhara Jeno Dekhi Nandera Nandana Natavara Aparupa Krishna Avesha Aparupa Nritya Anande Nayana Bhore Deke Sabha Pritya Nijanande Nache Maha Prabhu Vishwambhar Charanera Tala Shuri Ati Manohara Bhava Bhare Mala Nahi Rahaye Galai Chindiya Padaye Giya Bhakatera Pai Chaturdike Shri Hari Mangala Sankirtan Raje nache Jagannatha Mishrer Nandana Jar naam Nande Shiva Vasana na jane Jar jashe nache Shiva she nache apane Jar name Valmiki hoila tapodan Jar name Ajamila pailo mochan Jar naam Shavane Samsara bandha goche Heno Prabhu avatari Kali juge nache Jar naam gaye Shuka Narada bedai Sahasra badana Prabhu Jar guna gaye Sarva maha prayaschitta Je Prabhur naam She Prabhu nachaye dekhe Jato bhagyavan Prabhura Ānanda dekhi Bhagavat gan Anyone kaladhori Koroye grandhan Sabara yangete shobe Shri Chandana mala Anande gayena Krishna Rase hoi bhola Jate ka Vaishnava saba Kirtana yaveshe Na jane apana deha Anya jana kise Jaya Krishna Murari Mukunda Vanamali Jaya Krishna Murari Mukunda Vanamali Aharnisha Gai sabe Hoi kutuhali Aharnisha Bhakta Sange Nache Vishwambhar Shanti nahi karo sabe Sattva kalevara He mata nache Maha Prabhu Vishwambhara Nishi avashesha matra She eka prahara E mata ananda hoy Navadipa pure Prem rase vaikunthera Nayaka vihare E shakala punya katha Je kore shavana Bhakta sange Gaura Chandre Rahutarman Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanda Jana Vrindavana Dasa Tacho Pada Juge Gan Vrindavana Dasa Tacho Pada Juge Gan Shri Hari Vasare Hari Kirtana Vidana Shri Hari Vasare Hari Kirtana Vidana Nritta Arambila Prabhu Jagatera Prana Nritta Arambila Prabhu Jagatera Prana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare Hare Jai Sachinandan Jai Gora Hari, Sachinandan Jai Gora Hari, Jai Sachinandan Jai Gora Hari, Sachinandan Jai Gora Hari, Jai Hari Vasar Ekadashi, Hari Vasar, Jai Hari Vasar, Jai Ekadashi, Jai Hari Vasar, Hari Vasar Ekadashi, Hari Vasar, Jai Ekadashi, Jai Bhakti Janani, Jai Ekadashi, Bhakti Janani, Jai Ekadashi, Jai Bhakti Janani, Jai Ekadashi, Bhakti Janani, Jai Ekadashi, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai, Jai Shri Guru Nitil Vishnu Rashad Shmar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Guru Dev ki Jai, Nitil Pravishtam Vishnu Rashad Shmar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki Jai, Nitil Pravishtam Vishnu Rashad Shmar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashatarashata Shmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashatarashata Shmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gaurkishoras Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannathas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishta, sorry, let me just, because I spaced out for a second, let me just redo that. Srila Gaurkishoras Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai, Srila Jagannathas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, okay, sorry. Shri Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadasa Raghunath Shar Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Kaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai, Namachay Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai, Prem se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai, Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki Jai, Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai. All the groups of gopis, the Swapaksha gopis, Tatashta Paksha, no, the Swapaksha, Suhrid Paksha, Tatashta Paksha, and the Vipaksha gopis ki Jai. Shri Jhulan Yatra Maha Mahotsav ki Jai. Shri Radha Govinda Jhulan Yatra ki Jai. Shri Radha Govinda, sorry, my brain's Shri Kavi Karṇapura ki, Shri Kavi Karṇapura Goswami ki Jai. Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vai, Shri Pavitra Ropan Akarashi Titi ki Jai, Akarashi Titi Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Chaturmasya Vrat ki Jai, Vrat Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Also the Adivas Titi for Srila Rupa Goswami's Tirobhav Titi ki Jai, and also tomorrow will be Gauridas Pandit and Govindadas, the Tirobhav Titis. So, Jai, Jai, Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari
Hari Hari Bol.
Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams everybody. Kishore Krishna Prabhu, Shubhananda Prabhu, Champak Didi here on Zoom, all of you. And then Prajumna Prabhu, Mantaramurti Mataji, Indira Mataji, Haribo, who else? Sudevi Didi, Hari Prabhu. I'm not sure if Babatarani Mataji is there. And there's other people, I guess, but I can't see your names. Anyways, Dandavat Pranams, everybody.
Hari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Shubhananda Prabhu.
Prabhu, the song just you, Harivasar song you just sung.
Yes.
There is a difference in the verses in our Gaudiya Kirtan app, and the sequence is also some difference somehow.
Oh, no. See, in the Gaudiya Kirtan app, oh man, I should have made it more clear in the title. Maybe I didn't make it clear in the title. So there are two versions in the Gaudiya Kirtan app. One is the versions that a lot of other Gaudiya mats follow, and one is the version that our mat follows. It's like that's in Param Gurudev's Gaudiya Giti Gucha. But in the Gaudiya Kirtan app, I'm just opening it right now. I think one is like, I think it's E1 and E2, that's my guess. Let me just see though. I think E1 might be the long one and E2 is the short one. But let me just check. You know that, right? Like in the Gaudiya Kirtan app, you can type in the code E1. Then there's UID here. Just click on that side thing, and then this one. Oh no, E1 is Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu. So then let's try E2. E2 was probably it.
Okay, E for Ekadashi.
Oh, E4?
Ekadashi Kirtan.
Okay. Yeah. So E2 and E3, one is long. Because yeah, I think it's cool that we have the long one in our songbook, and the Param Gurudev wanted us to get more absorbed in that lila. Yes. All right. Anything else? Like any thoughts on anybody's head? Kishore Prabhu, do you have anything to share? Shubhananda Prabhu, anything?
I have a question.
Yes.
Were you there when Gurudev would do Julan Yatra?
Yeah. Many
What was
times,
it like?
Well, first he would go to 3 different places. First we'd like maybe around 4 o'clock or something like that, or 5 o'clock. He would be staying in Keshivji Gaudiya Math, and then we would do Julan there in Keshivji Gaudiya Math, and then we'd do Arti and offer Bhog and all that, just in the temple room there, and then we'd all go from Mathura to Vrindavan, Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Math, and then we'd do Julan there with Gurudev. Can't remember, and then also we'd go to Krishna Priya Didi and Madhusudan Maharaj's Mat. What is it called? Krishna Balaram Mandir. He'd do Julan there. Can't remember if he did Julan in Gopinath Bhavan. I can't remember. I remember those 3
He
mats.
did. I saw a video.
Okay, so we do Julan in 4 different places. And yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah, it's really nice.
I really like how Kavi Karṇapura Goswami described everything. Like 4 swings and everyone is swinging. I didn't get that until the end. That all the gopis are on all different swings, and they're all and Radha and Krishna are swinging, and then simultaneously the gopis are also swinging. And then when they get close to Radha and Krishna and the other gopis, they shoot flowers, soak them with syringes. I don't know what else. And there's a whole bunch of red powders everywhere, and the demigods are like, what's going on? We need to see. And so they start showering flowers.
It's like total transcendental chaos.
And it's just not 1 or 2 gopis, it's all of them, including Chandravali, Ali, and everyone else.
Yeah, and it's neat to hear how they're like battling, like the different groups of gopis, like, Radharani's party and Chandravali are like in active battle against each other. They're like full on attacking each other.
What was it that Kavi Karṇapura said, that Chandravali tried to throwing something and not one time did it reach Radha and Krishna?
Yeah. And I also thought it was really neat how Krishna's swing didn't just go, the swing didn't just go like back and forth, but it was like sometimes it's going there and sometimes there, and like it's just like going all over the place.
So like left, right, up, down, northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast, I guess.
No, and for all those swings to be getting close to each other, and like the rope, did it say it was like golden
Yeah,
whatever
golden silk. Golden
so those
silk
golden chains
ropes.
or yeah, okay, golden silken ropes, they must have been really long, like because they had to go really far distances, and you can see why, like it must have been so scary, and they're holding on with one hand. They're like really brave. Yeah, it's totally wild.
Well, you need to live. Well, maybe the gopis need to live life on the edge. That's why they can do it.
And then the manjaris are pushing the swings from below, right? They're the ones keeping the swings
Oh, is
going.
that what the manjaris are doing? They're pushing the swings?
It mentions that in one of the parts. Yeah, I remember reading that.
No.
Right? Let me just check. I thought I remember reading that. Did I close it? No. Yeah, it's here. Okay, let's type in manjari. Yeah, see, look. As the manjaris gracefully pushed the swings, Vrinda and others shouted, "Jai ho, Jai ho."
Jai ho, Jai ho. And then the peacocks are there saying, "Gay-ho, Gay-ho."
Yes. Radha's Sakis, who were eager to win the battle, shouted, "I am winning! I am winning!" In the pandemonium, a few more gopis picked up pitchkaris and wildly squirted the other gopis. In the excitement to win, some bottles of liquid fell and broke, releasing thick streams of aguru and sandalwood scented liquid all over the ground. Yeah, isn't that just such an amazing description? So poetic and detailed and descriptive, and yeah.
And this
amazing.
goes on for 5 days straight in the kunjas of Braj.
And this is during the monsoon time, so it must, like, that's like we sing in the Radhe Julana Padaro Jugit. The clouds get heavy with rain, and so that there must be like storms while this is all happening. Also, I'm guessing.
All of this like reminded me of a different pastime of once of Radha and Krishna and the gopis and the cowherd boys were there. All of them were there. And Madhu Mangal was there, and Lalita Devi was looking at him, and Lalita Devi asked him, "And what are you doing, fat boy?" and Madhu Mangal, I don't know what Madhu Mangal said, like, who do you gopis think you are? You guys think you're princesses or something? Krishna is the king of Vrindavan. And Lalita and the gopis were like, "King? Yeah, right. The real queen of Vrindavan is Srimati Radhika." And Madhu Mangal and the other Sakhas said, "Oh yeah? Let's fight. Let's fight about it. Let's have a contest." And so they started getting so it was Krishna's group and the Sakhas versus Radha's group and the Sakhis. And they got like flower balls, like these nice pretty flowers, but they hurt if you like throw them at each other. And so they started throwing flower balls at each other. And the Sakhas would throw the flower balls at the gopis, and the gopis would throw the flower balls back. And then the Sakhas were winning. The cowherd boys were winning. And Lalita, and I don't know if it was Radharani or who else, but it was saying like, "What do we do? What do we?" I think it was Lalita or Vishaka that said like, "What do we do? What do we do?" Oh, the cowherd boys are winning. And Radharani said, "Okay, I have an idea. Instead of throwing flower balls at Madhu Mangal, you start throwing laddus." And so the gopis started throwing laddus, and then one of the laddus hit Madhu Mangal in the eye, and then the juice came out and went down and touched his tongue. It's like, and Madhu Mangal said, "Oh wow, that's really good." Like, and then so Madhu Mangal started getting hit multiple times just so he could start getting the laddus, and he started sitting down and then eating the laddus, and the other cowherd boys joined in with him, And then Krishna was like, no, what's going on? The fat boy fell down. The fat boy is eating the ladus. And so the gopis conquered Krishna and the coward boys. And then Lalita said, okay, Krishna, now you have to accept that Radharani is the queen of Vrindavan. Now you have to come and worship her. And Krishna bowed down respectfully and said, yes, from now on, her name shall be Radharani. Before her, Radha's name wasn't Radharani, it was just Radha. But after this, it was Radharani.
Wow, what they knew their weak spots. The gopis knew the coward boys, especially Madhumangal's weak spot. They knew how to. That's so funny. Wow, where did you hear that, Leela? I've never heard that one. That's beautiful.
A devotee told me that, Prabhupada disciple. He was saying that it took place somewhere in Braj. It must be in the Braj Mandal curriculum book. I don't remember the name of the place though.
All right. Okay. Oh, Nrihari Prabhu. Oh, it's on Parikrama. Oh, Pavatarani Mataji's on Parikrama. Okay. All right. So that was, delightful reading today. God, but yeah, one day we hope that we'll be able to actually absorb these leelas and not see when I'm listening to the leelas right now, I want to be entertained by them. I want them to satisfy me. I want to be entertained. I want it for my enjoyment. But that's why we approach these leelas under the guidance of Srila Gurudev, because we don't want to enjoy these pastimes and just get entertained by them, but we want to serve these pastimes. That should be our only objective. And so we pray to Gurudev that by his mercy we may one day even absorb ourselves just in one drop of this Leela, and then everything will be successful. Otherwise, we'll just become sahajiyas. We'll just take it all cheaply and look at it as being material, and there won't be any benefit. So yeah, it's most essential.
I have a question on that. Like,
Yes.
I once heard that, I don't know if you know this, but I once heard that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada originally didn't have a Julan Yatra. And then this came on later.
Wow, interesting. No, I never heard that.
Mm-hmm. I know there's some reason for it, both for why there wasn't and why there is now. But I don't know what the reason is.
Interesting. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he is so focused on cutting down all these misconceptions and bringing dignity back to our Gaudiya family. You know, like everybody just thought of Gaudiya Vaishnavas as being loose woman hunters and, you know, like just the most like deplorable people. And so he brought respect back to the Gaudiya Vaishnav name, and he defeated all these misconceptions of Mayavad and like that. And so he's spending most of his energy in that way. And so and because Gaudiya Vaishnavas got such a bad name, he went like in the opposite direction and showed, you know, like how. But then we read that article, what is it? Raising the Divine Temple of the Bhagavat. And he says that we've been spending most of our time saying it is not this, it is not this. But now we must give the positive message that it is this. And, you know, therefore, a commentary on the 10th canto must be written, and also on the topics of Ras Panchadhyaya and all these high things, you know, like it must be written, because we are the I forgot what the word was, to this kata. This is our property, not the property of the Prakrit Sahajyas. And so we should establish our own commentary on these things. But I heard, yeah, but Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was very conservative and cautious regarding any of these high topics. Like many of the kirtans that we sing today, he would never allow, because he wanted to give focus on Sharanagati mostly and things like that.
I remember I asked like a similar question, not this, but like I asked a similar question once to Padmanabh Maharaj. I asked Padmanabh Maharaj once that, Maharaj, I was watching this. Asked him, why is it that some of the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, they objected to Gurudev like speaking these high topics? And I told him the reason why I'm asking is I saw a class of Srila Bhakti Pravan Puri Goswami Maharaj. And Bhakti Pravan Puri Goswami Maharaj, she gave a long katha that you need to chant Harinam in order to go into Ras Leela and everything. And then at the end of the class, Bhakti Pravan Puri Goswami Maharaj said, Narayan Maharaj is a Pandit, but he talks about the highest concepts. I'm not objecting that he does this, but people need to have certain qualifications. And then he told the devotee who was translating for the other devotee, please explain to him properly that I have not criticized Narayan Maharaj. I would never do so, because that would be Vaishnava Parad. He used that word, Vaishnava Parad. I've known him since he joined the temple, and I've also taken many books from him. And then he asked the devotee, what book have I taken from him again? Ah, yes, Bhajan Rahasya. I've taken Bhajan Rahasya. And I was telling this to Padmanabha Maharaj, and Padmanabha Maharaj told me, well, you just answered your own question. They need to have certain qualifications. The thing is with Gurudev's whole point was these things, these high topics need to be heard. And Maharaj told me, when are you going to hear these things? When you're in the body of a dog? Is that when you're going to hear these things? No, these things need to be heard. And then Maharaj continued, but one thing about Gurudev is that he never went like deep into detail in all these intimate pastimes. He spoke on it in a respectful way, okay, but he wouldn't get into involved into all these pastimes about Radha and Krishna kissing and the kunjas like that. Gurudev never spoke on that.
Yeah, that's
very true. And then he said, and you know, all the ISKCON people we've spoken with them many times, they've always been defeated regarding this topic. And Gaudiya Math, there was this one sannyasi, Maharaj mentioned his name, but I won't here. There was this one sannyasi that was saying, Narayan Maharaj is coming out with the Gita Govinda. And so I went to Gurudev, and I knew what Gurudev was already going to say. This is Padmanabha Maharaj speaking. And I already knew what Gurudev was going to say. But I went to Gurudev and I asked Gurudev, many devotees there are objecting that you're coming out with this Gita Govinda. And what do you want me to reply to them? What is your answer to them? And you know what he told me? That was Maharaj was talking to me. And you know what he told me? Gurudev said, and this Gita Govinda is our property. It is the property of us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and we need to represent it properly. That is why I'm coming out with a commentary on the Gita Govinda.
Wow. Yeah, Padmanabha Maharaj actually, he gave like a series of classes on Gurudev's introduction to Venu Gita. Because that Venu Gita, the introduction to Venu Gita is like, if you want to know the mission of Gurudev, that's what you read. Like Gurudev explains it so clearly why he is telling all these high things. And he quotes these verses from Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was in the same dilemma. Like, I want to express these high topics, but people aren't going to be qualified to hear them. Like he explains that section of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And anyways, yeah, it's a really important thing to read for all of Gurudev's followers to really. I should read it again also. Maybe we can read it here sometime. Introduction to Venu Gita. And also in Gita Govinda, I haven't read Gita Govinda, but as far as I know, the introduction to Gita Govinda is very strong. And like, I haven't read it, but I think it's by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the introduction or something, and it explains the qualification required to be able to enter into this book. And so,
on the very back of the book, there's a warning that if your heart is not aspiring for like Braj Ras or something like that, then do not read this book. It is not for you.
And also another thing, like Gurudev's Harikatha all over the world. See, Gurudev had a mission. There are devotees who are chanting for 20 years, 30 years, longer even, and there is no taste, and they were still like just discussing the most basic things. And after that many years of chanting, like we're supposed to, you know, make progress and eventually go, you know, to deeper and deeper things. It's not like our entire life we should just focus on Bhagavad Gita. But no, like there's all this literature that the Goswamis have written. Who do they write it for? Do they just write it for everybody except for us? No, this is we're supposed to enter into these topics. That's otherwise they wouldn't have written it. And so Gurudev's mission was to one of his main missions was to, like, all these different Prabhupada disciples, to help them enter into these topics and to get deeper in their bhajan. And so when he was speaking for lots of times different topics. He was speaking for certain individuals in the audience. He would sometimes even say that. He said, what I'm speaking right now is only for like a couple of you in the audience. And generally, actually, like if you look at through Gurudev's Harikatha through his world tours, his Harikatha became very like, you know, he'd many times he'd speak on the 11th canto. You know, he would speak on more, you know, his Harikatha wasn't all, you know, high stuff all the time. Just look at each Badger festival. That, you know, it wasn't all high Harikatha. He would always make sure to indicate the prayojan so that we knew what direction we want to be headed. But really, Gurudev's Harikatha wasn't like, I've never heard anything that's ever seemed inappropriate or uncomfortable. Like, you know, like, wow, this is like, am I supposed to be hearing this? Like, his Harikatha wasn't. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, and every acharya has their unique contribution, their unique function, and that's why we see in our Guru Parampara, every person in our Guru Parampara has a unique speciality, some contribution to our line that the others didn't, like they have something very unique about them. And we see some acharyas were very, like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, you know, and some acharyas were focused more on showing the prayojan, and then other acharyas were more focused on, but they were all necessary. And so Gurudev fulfilled that function of helping us to understand what direction we're supposed to be moving towards and what we're supposed to aspire for. Yeah.
Remember asking one Prabhupada disciple, what was your experience when Gurudev like first came to Badger? And he told me, well, when Gurudev was there, he started speaking on something that I thought was very high, or I'm paraphrasing here. He didn't really actually say that. It's like Gurudev was speaking something, and I said, Gurudev, well, at that time it wasn't Gurudev. I said, Maharaj, I think this is a little high for us. And Gurudev said, if you've been chanting for 25 years and you think this is too high for you, that is proof you don't have faith in the holy name. And then the devotee told me, I don't know how Gurudev knew I was chanting for 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, we hear this experience from Prabhupada disciples over and over again. How, I mean, like, okay, my parents, my mother, when Gurudev first came to Badger, well, no, the second time he came to Badger in 1997. My parents had heard all sorts of offensive things about Gurudev, and that he's trying to steal Srila Prabhupada's disciples and all sorts of whatever, all sorts of crazy things. And then, so my mother, she didn't go to Gurudev's classes when he, you know, up in Badger, up in the complete middle of nowhere, and then Gurudev comes all the way from India, this, you know, dear friend of Srila Prabhupada. And that's a real statement, that they're coming to the middle of nowhere and you're not going to see him, not even going to. But my mom was so worried about, you know, all the things that she heard, And so, like, when my Gurudev was giving class, she was just sitting in front of a picture of Srila Prabhupada and just really sincerely praying, Prabhupada, I don't want to be disloyal to you. You are my everything. I'm not going to hear from anybody else who's saying anything different from you. You are my everything, And she was like really praying. And then my father said, why don't you just come to one class? Like, he's just speaking on Nectar of Instruction, on Srila Prabhupada's purports. That's all and just come for one class. And so my mom, like, very hesitatingly, like, she apprehensively, she went and she sat in the class. And this is her first class with Gurudev. And immediately her connection was like after Srila Prabhupada entered Nitya Lila, everything started to become dry. That excitement that was there during his time just completely vanished, and everything became like really mechanical and dry, and like she felt kind of dead inside, no spiritual inspiration. But when she was sat in that class of Gurudev's, it like there was no denying it. It felt as if she was reunited with Srila Prabhupada again. Like that excitement that she hadn't experienced since the 70s, all of a sudden just like enveloped her. And there's no doubt about it. Like all the things that she heard from all different envious people and stuff like that was all just completely ridiculous. Like, no, this person somehow reconnected me with Srila Prabhupada. Nobody else was able to do that. This is the only person. And that is what our acharyas explain. Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj, Param Gurudev, there's quotes of Param Gurudev explaining that is the function of a Shiksha Guru, is that they reconnect us. They connect us. They inspire our dedication and faith and our love for our Diksha Guru. And so nobody was able to do that like Srila Gurudev. And so he is a real Shiksha Guru. And then after that time, have you seen the gift of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Bhadra Mataji, she says that after meeting Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada's books, they were like dancing. The words were dancing on the pages, and I just couldn't stop reading them. And like Gurudev brought a whole other level of appreciation and like relish to Srila Prabhupada's words. Like he brought out the speciality of Srila Prabhupada's words. And then she said she just got addicted to Srila Prabhupada's books. She couldn't stop reading them. And so that's that's the glory of a real Shiksha Guru.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that as you were speaking it. You mentioned that what Bhadra Mataji said.
Yeah.
I remember watching a class of Bhagavat Maharaj and Padmanabh Maharaj from, what is it now, like 2 years, maybe 2 years ago. And Bhagavat Maharaj was telling and Bhagavat Maharaj was saying, and that, I told some of my godbrothers, read a chapter of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam of Srila Prabhupada, then hear a class of Srila Gurudev before you go to bed, and then wake up and then reread that chapter that you read. And Padmanabh Maharaj asked, did some of them do it? Like, yeah, some of them did. And they said ahead that they got all these sorts of realizations, that reading the chapter was like day and night.
Yes. I mean, you see so many people read Srila Prabhupada's books, and they weren't even like just basic things in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. That, like, the beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita explains everything about the superiority of Raghunuga Bhakti and how to enter into, like, it's so, like, it couldn't be more clear. But so many devotees, you'll mention any of these points, and it's like they've never heard it before, but it's right there. It's not even just like in a few places, it's like extensively there. And Srila Prabhupada made it all very clear, but I guess it just really takes somebody, a pure devotee like Srila Gurudev, to be able to like know which parts to shed light on and highlight, and to be able to actually and also all this stuff, it's not, even with Gurudev's Harikatha, with any Harikatha, we can't just figure it out with our brains. It's not an intellectual thing. It's all all this knowledge is revealed. It's not figured out. And so for any words of our Guru Varga, there's a whole process. We have to change our life to be able to, to be able to grasp anything of what they're giving. It's not just, yeah. Sorry, I went on a whole tangent there, but
It's
all right.
wonderful. It's a wonderful tangent. Can I say one thing that has been like bubbling in my mind for a couple of days now?
Yeah.
It's been coming ever since Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj's Tirobhav.
Yes.
Once Srila Prabhupada in Los Angeles, he was talking about Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj. Casually, example. And Prabhupada said there was this one Babaji, Vamshidas Babaji, and he was talking with his deity. Similarly, there was Sanatan Goswami. He was talking to the deity of Madan Mohan. And Madan Mohan was asking Sanatan Goswami, Sanatan, you're only giving me dry and stale chapatis. Like, can't you add some salt? And Sanatan Goswami said, listen, old man, and where will I find salt from? If you want that, you can arrange ensure it yourself. And Prabhupada chuckles, and Prabhupada says, so Krishna had to eat that. Krishna had to eat that because the bhakta is offering.
Oh, I think I heard that. Yeah, it's really sweet.
There's more. So Krishna had to eat that because the bhakta is offering. Real thing is real thing is bhakti. Real thing is your feeling. What can you offer to Krishna? Everything belongs to Krishna. What is your value? And what is the value of your thing? It is nothing. And then Prabhupada pauses and begins crying and says, but I have brought this thing for you. This will be accepted by Krishna. Krishna will accept this. But don't be puffed up. You're dealing with Krishna.
Can you send that to me? Like, do you know where it is? I remember Vaijanti Mala sent that to me. And it was, yeah, like Srila Prabhupada's voice starts like cracking, like choking a bit, right? Yeah, and he starts crying a bit. That was, yeah, could you send that? Maybe we can watch it sometime.
Yeah, my phone died recently, so I got a new phone and I have to set up WhatsApp and everything. But you can find it on YouTube. Just put it in Prabhupada and Vamshidas Babaji and you'll find it.
Okay.
So Prabhupada Vamshidas Babaji on YouTube and you'll find the clip.
Okay, yeah, I'll look it up. Yeah. Yeah, that might be a nice thing that we could do in these these little programs. Like any nice little clip of any of our Guru Varga, we can watch it together. I think that would be a nice little thing to do every now and then. If you have anything, you can send it to me. All right, I have a meeting every day at 9 o'clock. It's 4 minutes till 9. I have a work thing I do with somebody. So, yeah, thanks for that nectar, Kishore. That was wonderful. And yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow for Rupa Goswami. I haven't chosen anything to read, but yeah, so maybe we can do, there's a really nice section in Gurudev's Madhurya Kadambini about Rupa Goswami. Maybe you could read that. And also, Kishore Prabhu, if you want to, or Shubhananda Prabhu or Champakti, anybody here, anybody who's also on Facebook, on YouTube, anybody's watching, if anybody wants to share something about Rupa Goswami, wants to give any offering, their homage, you're totally free to. Just let me know. And yeah, we'll give you time for that. So, all right. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Jai Shri Radhe. Oh, yesterday I wrote a little thing for Vine of Devotion. If you go to vineofdevotion.com, I wrote a little something. And I gave an excerpt that Gurudev speaks on the difference between Raganuga and Rupanuga, but it's so beautiful the way he explains it. It's very unique. Anyways, you can check it out on vineofdevotion.com. All right. Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna. Just checking the comments. Hare Krishna Umapati Dash Adhikari Sudevi Didi Nri Hari Prabhu. Everybody, Dandavat pranams. Hare Bo. Haribol Kishore, Champak Didi, Shubhananda Prabhu. Dhanyavads.